From the beginning to the end, the Bible teaches us about the practice and importance of prayer. Even in Genesis chapter 4, verse 26, we read how the Lord began to be invoked by the descendants of Seth. This pattern is maintained throughout the biblical narrative, reaching up to the last book, Revelation. In Revelation 5, verse 8, we see how the prayers of the saints ascend like incense before the throne of God, while the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fall down before the Lamb with harps and golden bowls full of incense, which represent these prayers. Thus, from Genesis to Revelation, the Bible highlights the value of prayer. Little prayer means little spiritual life. Much prayer, in turn, results in a deep communion with God. In other words, just as oxygen is vital for physical survival, prayer is fundamental for spiritual life. And now reflect, how much time do you dedicate to prayer daily? Is it just a few minutes before sleeping, upon waking up, or before meals? Today we will discuss the dangers that arise when prayer time is reduced. This is an essential video, so take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, like this content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. You know, it's easy to fall into the trap of treating prayer like a drive-through window. You rush in, rattle off your order of needs and wants, and then speed off, expecting God to deliver. It's almost as if we're placing an order at a fast food restaurant, hoping for quick service and instant gratification. But that's not the kind of relationship God desires with us. He seeks something far deeper, more meaningful and profoundly intimate. He wants to be more than just a cosmic vending machine dispensing favors. He yearns for a connection that transcends mere requests and demands. Think about your closest relationships, the ones that truly matter to you. Are they just about transactions? Are they built solely on what you can get from each other? Or are they built on shared experiences, laughter, conversations, and genuine care? These are the moments that create bonds and deepen connections. That's what God wants with us. He desires a relationship filled with depth, understanding, and mutual love. He longs for us to linger in His presence, to share our hearts with Him, not just our to-do lists. He wants us to open up, to be vulnerable, and to truly connect. When we only pray quickly, we miss out on the richness of His presence. We miss the opportunity to feel His peace, to hear His voice, and to experience His love. We reduce our communication with the Creator of the universe to a hurried exchange. It's like trying to have a meaningful conversation while constantly checking in on a date and only speaking for 5 minutes. You wouldn't get very far in building a relationship that way. It would feel rushed, superficial, and unfulfilling. You wouldn't get very far in building a relationship that way. It would feel rushed, superficial, and unfulfilling. The same applies to our relationship with God. It's the same with God. He wants more than just a quick hello and a list of demands. He wants a deep, meaningful connection. He wants to hear about your day, your dreams, your fears. He wants to be a part of your life in every way. He wants to speak words of comfort, guidance, and love into your life. He wants to be your confidant, your guide, and your friend. Don't let prayer become a rushed obligation. Don't let it become just another task on your to-do list. Make time for God, not just quick requests. Set aside moments to truly connect, to listen and to be present with Him. He's waiting to meet you in the stillness, to speak to your heart, and to shower you with His love. Take the time to build that relationship, to deepen that connection, and to truly experience the fullness of His presence. Have you ever found yourself going through the motions of prayer without truly connecting with God? It's a common experience for many of us. We might start with good intentions, but over time, our prayers can become routine, losing the depth and sincerity they once had. Maybe you repeat the same phrases every night, words that once held meaning but now feel empty and hollow. Or perhaps your mind wanders during your prayer time, drifting to the day's worries or tomorrow's plans. It's easy to fall into a rut and let prayer become a religious duty instead of a heartfelt conversation. When this happens, we miss out on the true essence of prayer. But God yearns for more than rote rituals. He longs for a connection that goes beyond mere words. He desires a vibrant, authentic relationship with you, one that is built on trust, love, and genuine communication. He wants you to come to Him with an open heart, free from pretense and full of sincerity. ready to listen and be transformed by his presence, to be molded and guided by his wisdom. Think about the things you're passionate about, the activities that make your heart sing and your spirit soar, the hobbies and interests that you pour your time and energy into because they bring you joy and fulfillment. You dedicate time and energy to those things because they matter to you. They are a reflection of your passions and priorities. Prayer should be no different. It should be a reflection of your deepest desires and your longing to connect with the divine. It's an opportunity to connect with the source of all joy, peace, and love. A moment to step away from the chaos of life and find solace in his presence. Don't let your spiritual life become stagnant. Break free from the routine and seek a deeper, more meaningful connection with God. Break free from the routine and seek a deeper, more meaningful connection with God. Let your prayers be a true reflection of your heart's desires. Pour out your heart to him without holding back. Share your deepest fears, your greatest joys, and everything in between. Share your joys and sorrows, your triumphs and trials. Let him be a part of every aspect of your life, and allow him to fill you with his peace and guidance. Let his presence be a source of comfort and strength. Remember, God is not impressed by empty rituals. He is not moved by mere words or actions that lack sincerity. He desires a genuine relationship with you, one that flows from a heart overflowing with love and gratitude. One that flows from a heart overflowing with love and gratitude. A relationship that is built on trust, honesty, and mutual respect. So come before him with open hands and an expectant heart, ready to receive all that he has in store for you. Approach him with a spirit of humility and a willingness to be transformed, ready to receive all that he has in store for you. Embrace the journey of deepening your spiritual life and discovering the boundless love and grace that God offers. Chapter 3. You develop lazy communion. It's easy to become spiritually complacent, especially when life gets busy. Our schedules fill up with work, family responsibilities, social commitments, and countless other tasks that demand our attention. In the midst of this busyness, we might convince ourselves that a few hurried prayers throughout the day are enough to maintain our spiritual health. We might think that a quick thank you before a meal or a rushed prayer as we head out the door will suffice. But just like any relationship, our connection with God requires effort and intentionality. It's not enough to just go through the motions. We need to invest time and energy into our spiritual lives. When we settle for quick, superficial prayers, we risk becoming spiritually lazy. Our prayers become more about checking a box than truly communicating with God. We stop seeking God's face with the same fervor, and our hearts grow distant from his presence. We lose the depth and richness of a genuine relationship with him. Imagine if you only spoke to your spouse or best friend for a few minutes each day. Those relationships would likely suffer from a lack of meaningful interaction. Do you think your relationship would thrive? Probably not. Relationships require time, effort, and genuine communication to grow and flourish. It takes time and effort to cultivate deep, meaningful connections. We need to be present, to listen, and to share our hearts with those we care about. The same is true for our relationship with God. He desires a deep, intimate connection with us, one that goes beyond surface-level interactions. He longs for us to spend time in his presence, to delve into his word, and to pour out our hearts to him. This is where true spiritual growth happens. Don't allow the busyness of life to crowd out your time with God. It's easy to let our packed schedules dictate our priorities, but we must be intentional about making time for him. Make a conscious effort to prioritize prayer, to create space in your day to connect with the one who loves you most. Set aside specific times for prayer and reflection, and protect those times from other distractions. Remember, spiritual growth requires discipline and dedication. Just as an athlete trains their body to achieve peak performance, we must train our spirits to connect with God more deeply. This means setting aside regular time for prayer, Bible study, and worship. It means being intentional about seeking God's presence and listening for his voice. Don't settle for a lazy faith. A faith that is only engaged in moments of convenience will never reach its full potential. Pursue God with all your heart, and you'll be amazed by the incredible ways he shows up in your life. When we seek him earnestly, we open ourselves up to experiencing his love, guidance, and power in profound ways. So So take the time to nurture your relationship with God. Make it a priority. And watch as your faith grows stronger and your connection with Him deepens. Remember, a vibrant spiritual life is not built on convenience but on commitment. Commit to seeking God daily, and you will find that He is always there, ready to meet you with open arms. A short prayer life, my friends, is a dangerous thing. It limits our spiritual growth and prevents us from experiencing the fullness of God's love. Don't treat God like a cosmic vending machine, only approaching Him with a list of requests. He desires a genuine friendship with you, a relationship built on trust, intimacy, and open communication. If this message resonated with you, if you felt a nudge in your spirit to deepen your prayer life, don't ignore it. Take a step today. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's encourage one another to cultivate a vibrant, thriving relationship with our Creator. Subscribe to the channel for more resources and inspiration to help you grow in your faith. God bless you, and may His peace, which surpasses all understanding, guard your heart.